Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul, and you would have seen already our iPhone 15 Pro Max unboxing. And today we're talking about the iPhone 15 Pro Max again, but we are putting it head to head with last year's biggest, best phone from Apple, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So which of these phones do you think is going to come out on top in terms of them going head to head? Well, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see future videos about certain topics like this. But for today's video, let's get right into it. Right, let's get straight into this video, shall we, and put these phones head to head and side by side. Let's take a closer look at the design and build of both of these devices. So we'll start with the iPhone 14 Pro, and it retains the iconic design that we love, featuring those premium materials and impeccable craftsmanship. But if you're a fan of innovation, then you need to feast your eyes on Apple's newest device, and that is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. With this iPhone 15 Pro Max, you can see that the design has changed ever so slightly, and it boasts a sleeker, more futuristic design with even thinner bezels and a refined frame with curved edges, while last year's 14 Pro Max had those big square boxed off edges, which made it a little bit more difficult to hold in the hand. So for this one, that brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max does just take it because it is nicer and easier to hold in the hand and just a little bit more comfortable. But we still have to stack these phones up together in other categories, and now let's have a look at that display. We'll first of all have a look at the display of the iPhone 14 Pro, and it does offer a Super Retina XDR display with ProMotion technology. But when we switch our attention over to that new iPhone 15 Pro Max, it takes it up just a notch because this has a ProMotion XDR OLED display that's brighter and more color accurate, providing a truly immersive experience when you're going to be sat there watching your content or even playing those AAA titles such as Resident Evil on your iPhone 15 Pro Max. And talking of playing those new AAA titles, we have to have a look at the performance of both of these devices. So let's jump over and have a look at the 14 Pro Max first. Under the hood of the iPhone 14 Pro Max rocks the powerful A16 Bionic chip, which delivers, of course, blazing fast performance and efficient multitasking. But when we look at Apple's brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max, this takes things to the new level with that A17 Pro Bionic chip, offering unrivaled processing power and AI capabilities, which means especially on the new devices with that A17 Pro, you should be getting longer battery life to do more multitasking, games, and also using the camera, which is exactly what we're going to have a look at next. Now, with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, photography enthusiasts, you need to pay attention because the iPhone 14 Pro Max features a triple lens camera system with a 48 megapixel main camera, a 3x telephoto zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And these do capture some of the most incredible photos and videos that I have ever taken on a phone. So surely for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's going to be difficult to beat the camera system that we know and have seen already on that iPhone 14 Pro Max. Well, it does beat it. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, though, elevates your photography and video game with an enhanced triple camera setup, boasting more, better, improved light performance and advanced lenses. The biggest addition to this is that now on that 48 megapixel camera, it can take 24 megapixel main lens photography photos, and with that new telephoto zoom lens, kind of spoken about as a periscope lens, you can see it has a 5x zoom, so you can get closer to the photos and the action than you could on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, if you're using that camera all day long, you'll want to know about the battery life, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max did have some problems with its battery running out quicker than the previous model of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro Max did offer impressive endurance, ensuring you stay powered throughout the day. However, the battery health on these phones did deteriorate pretty quickly, and most people were quite unhappy with it. However, the iPhone 15 Pro Max goes above and beyond with a slightly larger battery and slightly faster charging at 27 watts. And of course, this is thanks to its MagSafe 2.0 technology, so you can charge your phone quicker and use it for longer during the day. When it comes to the iOS and the software, both of these phones run exactly the same software with iOS 17, ensuring a smooth and secure user experience. But the iPhone 15 Pro Max introduces some exclusive software features that further enhance the productivity and creativity when using its phone. But now we need to talk about the price and availability of both devices. Let's start with the 15 Pro Max. Now, this did jump up in price across the world, and it might be because of production issues or the fact that you now get 256 gigabytes as a main base storage, so it starts at $1,199. But if you haven't already pre-ordered one of these, then trying to get it shipped to your home address, the shipping dates are already in October. So that's a month after the release already of the 15 Pro Max. With the release though of the new phone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max will obviously go down in price, and it could be a better deal depending on what phone you're upgrading from, because as we've seen already, the specs, cameras, displays are all very close to its flagship brand new brother, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's worth having a quick look at where you could get these phones, but sadly you can't get an iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max from Apple anymore, as they do not sell them. So there we are, that is the comparison between the iPhone 14 Pro Max, last year's flagship phone, and this year's brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max. And you'll probably agree that they are really close and similar in terms of specs, camera, displays, the processor, and of course remember they can both run iOS 17. So I imagine it comes down to what you can afford and what you can get your hands on, because that shipping has already slipped, like we just mentioned, way past the release date of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But let me know in the comments, what phone have you got, or what phone are you wanting to upgrade to? Would the 14 Pro Max do you just fine, or do you need to have the biggest, the best, and the latest in terms of the iPhone 15 Pro Max? Well, let me know, and remember, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do. It will also give you notifications if you turn on that bell of any of the new videos that we do with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And if you turn on those notifications and subscribe, then we will see you in the next video.